Hey guys, two run drills for you today. So both of them, we're going to start off with a more warm-up exercise to get our glutes engaging, and then we're going to take it into a walk drill, and then if I was then going to go for a run, I would take it into the run. So both really great exercises for runners to get their glutes engaging, doing what we want them to do on our run. So first exercise, call it my sticky chewing gum walk, but first of all, we're going to go with your hip drop. So you're going to stand on one leg, you're going to engage the standing leg glute. I'm on a step. It's easier to be on a step because it means I don't have to worry about bending the other leg. But if you haven't got a step, a book would do just to raise the other foot off the ground. But if you haven't got something to stand on, you can absolutely do it just on the ground, just bend the other leg. Anyway, so I'm standing on one side and I engage the standing leg side. So I'm standing on my left side, I'm engaging my left glute. I then relax my left glute, it just drops that slightly to the side, and my right hip drops down. I re-engage my glute, the hips come back to level. Relax, re-engage. I'm not doing a squat up and down on the left side. The left leg is straight, it's relaxed, but it's straight. All the work is just done relax, tuck under, re-engage. Relax, tuck under, re-engage. And I'm not doing any work on my right side, it's the left glute. So I should feel my left glute on fire. I'm then going to swap onto the right side, exactly the same on the other side. Tuck under, relax, tuck under. I want to hold for longer than the relax. So hold for about 2 or 3 seconds, relax for a microsecond, come back. Thinking about scooping, all your cues you think of to get your glutes activating, tucking under, making sure you're not tipping the water out the front, whatever you think of, rocket booster glutes, engage, get that glute engaging, hold for a few seconds, then relax. Now I might do that for about a minute on each side, but I'll leave it there for now. Then we're going to go into, not your chewing gum walk, sorry, we're going into your, don't know what I call this one, glute and control walk. So if we walk and just whatever space you've got, left foot hits the ground, left glute is in control. Hold it for a second, so I'm working my balance as well, but I'm thinking about stabilizing through that standing leg side. Right foot hits the ground, right glute is in control. So I'm walking slowly, pausing, thinking about the glute being in control. So rather than the foot hitting the ground and the hips dropping down or the knee collapsing in, I'm really thinking about what I was doing on the step there, tuck under, engage. Stabilize through the hips, stabilize the knee below. Tuck under, engage. So really good, this one, for anybody who knows that they have their hips dropping out to the side or one hip dropping down as they're running. Spending a second on each side. As I say, it's about balance, but it's really about getting that glute working. So then I would take that into a run. When you're running, you're not thinking left leg, right leg. You can't, your feet are going too fast. But you're relying on the fact you've just done that drill to get that memory, muscle memory there, to get that technique flowing through. I would still be, as I'm running, think tuck under, but I'm just thinking both glutes together. So I'm thinking rocket powered hips, tucking under, rocket powered hips, pushing me or driving me forward. So my cues, my glutes, you can go to your don't tip the water out the front, but let's make it more energetic, let's make it more powerful. So tucking my tailbone under, thinking about rocket booster glutes, powering me forwards, or imagine you've got like a climbing harness or a rope around your waist. And then that rope, the harness is attached to a rope up to either a helium balloon or a jet-powered balloon or an eagle soaring far ahead of you. So it's tucking you under, pulling you, but it's pulling you forwards as well. So we've got that energy in there. Okay, so that's number one. So the hip drop into that just glute and control walk, glute and control, then into your run. And the other one is our neutral pelvis into our sticky chewing gum. So again, don't have to stand on a step, but it makes it a little bit easier. So I'm standing on my right foot now, holding on something for balance, and I'm pulling back my left glute. Now, as I do that, I want to make sure I don't lean forwards. You can do this right up with a wall in front of you to stop you from leaning forwards. Instead, I'm using my glute, my bum cheek, to pull that left leg back. I'm making sure as I do that I keep my pelvis in neutral. So to hold on for balance. So my pelvis stays flat as my leg comes back, rather than, so if that's 90 degrees now, rather than keeping the 90 degrees, so I tip the water out the front as it comes back, instead I keep my pelvis level and the leg goes back behind. So I take my hip into extension, pelvis stays level, neutral pelvis, as I pull the leg behind. So I'm feeling that glute work. Make sure that you're not just bending at the knee. We'll think, oh yeah, I'm getting that leg behind me because I can feel my foot's going back behind me, when all we're doing is essentially kicking back. So think about separating the knees. Swap over onto the other side. So right knee separates from left knee, making sure I think about staying upright. So helium balloon from the back of the head, lengthening me up towards the sky as my right leg comes back behind me. Making sure you're not feeling it in your lower back. You can put your hand on your lower back and check, are you feeling a muscle working there? Or put your hand on your bum, are you feeling that muscle working there to pull back? Okay, so keeping that neutral pelvis, keep tucking under. Hip bones coming up, hip bones to nose as the leg comes back. Okay, we've activated those glutes, or we've identified there's an issue, and if there's an issue, we need to work harder on it, because you can't get them activated when that's all you're thinking about. They ain't going to be working for you when you're running. Okay, so now we go into your sticky chewing gum walk. So imagine you've got some chewing gum stuck on the ball of each foot. I step forward, but my foot's stuck on the ground. So my leg stays out behind me for a little bit longer. Then I step forward, leg stays on the ground. Do it really slowly to start off, but then we can go into a fairly normal walk. It's just that the leg stays on the ground for a little bit longer behind us. As we do that, it's not just that the leg stays on the ground, but we're thinking neutral pelvis. So exactly what we were doing when we were pulling the leg back behind us. Keep the pelvis level as we tip forwards, keep the pelvis level, leg comes back behind us, glute is working. And then if we were then going to take it out onto the run, as we're running, we want to keep that neutral pelvis, the leg comes back behind us, but we're keeping the neutral pelvis. So two drills there, targeting your glutes. As I say, when you go into the run, don't try and think, oh, left leg, right glute, right glute. Just keep focused on tucking that tailbone under, whatever cue works for you to get your glutes going. Rely on the drill that you've done before, waking up the brain and helping it to realize what it needs to do. We need those glutes working for us. Our glutes stabilize. So as we know from that hip drop drill, their glutes help to keep the hips stabilized, help to stop the knee from dropping in, so it helps prevent injury, but also the glutes are one of the most powerful fatigue resistant muscles in the body. We want them working for us, and when our pelvis tips forwards each time, we're not using the glutes. So we're losing all that power and that fatigue resistant power that we want working for us. So get those glutes working for you with those two drills. Let me know how you get on.